PEEK is often about $1 a gram. So you're looking at a kilo of PEEK costing about $1,000 US.
It's not worth it. There's a reason some bolts cost $1,000 a bolt.
That's right.
It's this false marketing, and I hate false marketing the most. It's when, I'm going to say Bambu Lab again.
And then we saw, through a few creators, which I had never seen capable, the Bambu H2D Pro printing PEEK. Now,
I've not heard of this, but I am skeptical.
It's Bambu's PEEK Pro filament.
Bambu.
I could not find it on their website.
Filament.
I already looked. The H2D Pro has apparently been out for a while. It's like $500 or $600 more than the regular H2D. It comes with a tungsten nozzle and Ethernet, and that's about the only options that make it worth that extra money. But they're claiming that it can print PEEK. And that means it needs a 400 plus degrees Celsius nozzle, a 140 degrees Celsius plus bed, and in theory, a north of 100 Celsius chamber temperature to print PEEK properly. But in the video that I found, the print house put out a couple of shorts with it. Their chamber temperature was like 60 to 90 Celsius. That's too low for PEEK. So I'm assuming it's not real PEEK.
I'm going to assume it's not PEEK. It might be like PPA, natural coloring. So
it does look like PEEK. Like the coloring looks like PEEK.
Yeah, but so does PCTG look like PEEK.
Fair. But yeah, calling it PEEK Pro tells me it's not pure PEEK. And just to be clear, if you are looking at this saying, ooh, I would love to be able to print PEEK, as a business, stop. Seriously. Because when you're printing those god tier thermoplastics, PEEK, PEC, Ultem, 9085, 1010, don't care. Those all require material certifications 99 times out of 100 for a business level job. Like when we print PEEK, we have to provide the full traceability report for that material to the companies we deliver it to. And PEEK is often about $1 a gram. So you're looking at a kilo of PEEK costing about $1,000 US. It's probably less than that now. 3DX Tech would be the place I would look. Maybe it's like $600 or $700 a kilo. But if Bambu PEEK is significantly cheaper than that, it's not real PEEK. If you can't get traceability reports, don't use it for things that need traceability. You will get sued when it inevitably fails. And often PEEK, PEC, and Ultem are used as end-use mission-critical components. And the last thing that your insurance will cover for you is you knowing that it wasn't right, you still making the part, people dying from it, and you getting sued.
Yeah.
Don't be stupid.
Well, if you're playing in the big boy game of needing PEEK, you play by big boy rules.
Yes.
And that requires safety certification.
Yes.
And just general certification. You can't just be like, it's good enough.
No.
Because normally, if it's in PEEK, it's life critical.
Good enough doesn't work. Is it?
Yeah.
Is it cool? Hell yeah, it's cool. Seeing PEEK at a lower cost machine works. I like that idea. But even the HT90 can't print big PEEK parts. They only certify it for like 2 inches above the build plate because you can heat the build plate really high and get that little area of the chamber nice and hot. But after that, you're going to get layer separation on PEEK because it's going to cool too fast. So, yeah. Airplane parts. Airplane parts are often PEEK or Ultem because those are certified by the FAA for end use flight in airplanes. So like,
they're naturally flame resistant, they're chemical resistant, they're one of the strongest, toughest, baddest filaments you can print with, and the spenniest. Anything that's life critical or could be life critical, it's in PEEK or
don't F around.
That's it.
Right? So like we're making, they just sent me a new file, so I have to re-quote it, but we're going to be making some airplane parts for a customer. My first question whenever a company that calls us to ask about airline parts is this an experimental aircraft? Because if the aircraft is experimental, we don't have to follow FAA guidelines. We can make it out of whatever material they want. If it is not an experimental aircraft and must go through a certification process, you are hard limited to Peak, sometimes PEC, and Ultem 9085 specifically. Sometimes you can get away with 1010, but almost always it's 9085. You will need big machines to print that. Your Bambu will not print that. Sorry, it doesn't.
And in reality, if you're printing parts that need that material, don't cheap out on the machine when the filament costs the same as your machine.
Yep.
It's not worth it. There's a reason some bolts cost $1,000 a bolt.
That's right.
You don't cheap out in the aviation world. Same with the military.
On mission critical components, you don't cheap out. Like, I'm not going to Amazon to find, the cheapest seatbelt that I can for my car. Okay. Like, I'm not doing that. Sorry. It's not happening.
Yeah, that's eBay. That's what eBay's
Absolutely. Or a junkyard, obviously. So we got a question about how's it going with the HT90. What have we been making? We've been making feet stuff. I actually have to film a bit for the HT90 unboxing video with those legs when we're done with the stream.
Can we officially call you a feet man now?
Hey, for the amount of money that I'm getting paid for those, you can call me whatever the hell you want. And yes, Rexit, it's actually a DOS boot thing. Although they're calling it the Saki because it is for... I can't tell you the company name, but if the company name happens to show up on the screen... Whatever, man. Whatever. There's nothing saying that I can't show what we're doing. I can't talk about specifically who it's done for. There's nothing in the NDA that states I can't show it.
Well, no, you were just showing a random product that you quite enjoyed.
It's also public
it had
now.
No coincidental link.
It's also public now. So that's what we're doing the HT90 with. And these airplane parts that came in. So it is an experimental aircraft. So I've given them two prices, one for ASA, one for I think it's either a carbon or a glass-filled ASA. That's going to come from Soraya Tech. We're going to get that from Soraya Tech if they want. So they're going over a few different options for this plane right now. And some of it is they're just going to use the parts as molds to create carbon. Fine. Then I'm making it out of PETG or ABS or regular ASA. If they want end use parts, I'm going to push them toward the carbon because it will look a lot nicer in the plane. Yeah, it will also look a lot nicer in the plane. That's a significant portion of the price of the machine. The airplane part structural or what? It's not so much about structural, it's about liability. Right. The FAA says it must be fire retardant. It must be, certain materials, heat resistant. Yeah. It must meet all these criteria because in the event of an onboard fire in an aircraft, you want to be very certain that it can be contained quickly. Right. GP3 Designs talked about, comparing the H90 to a 22 IDEX. Vision Miner, hook it up. We're happy to. We'll do another 90-day challenge to pay off a 22 IDEX. I don't care. Let's do it. I would love to put those two machines side by side because I think that it would it'd be more fun than most people think. So, but yeah, we printed some Ultem 1010 the other day. Printed Peak on it before. It's fun. What are your feelings on Bambu even tickling the idea of a high temp printer?
I hate it.
Why?
I hate it.
Why?
Mostly because they're encroaching on my territory yet again. Every time we do a new thing, Bambu Lab are like,
well, okay,
let's take that.
Again, given what the H2D Pro can do, there's no way it's pure Peak.
No, there's not. But in reality, the thing that I don't like about it the most is the misinformation that comes with saying it can print Peak.
Right.
Because to me and you, we know it can't. It physically can't. The temperatures aren't high enough. It's not stable enough. It's not suitable for the job position. It's not anything. What you know it's for is for that one marketing manager who doesn't know actually what they're doing, who's been told, we need to print this material, and they see Bambu Lab has a thing, and this is another way for Bambu Lab to get their machine in big industry.
Yep.
Which is definitely not a data security issue point, and is kind of scary. It's this false marketing, and I hate false marketing the most. It's when I'm going to say Bambu Lab again because they do it, but so do a load of other companies. Claim speeds you can never reach.
Yep.
Brilliant. My printer can move at 800 millimeters per second, but you've put a 0.4 nozzle in it and it's got a 30 mil melt chamber, meaning it is categorically limited in the thinnest plastic we can get.
But what if I'm doing 0.05 millimeter layers?
Even worse, because when you're that thin, your flow rate is not working as it used to.
Really?
So you can't even get the higher flow rates.
I figured you could. Okay. I see this just shows
it's pressure advance. The pressure advance, when you get to those ultra low thin layers, you can technically flow it, but you end up with just like weird under extrusion artifacts where the material is so close to the material below, it's pulling it out the nozzle instead of pushing it out the nozzle. So you end up with extrusion issues, which is why people with smaller nozzles tend to print slower.
It's funny, we don't really go much lower than 0.1 unless it's like really asked. So it's like, it's not something I've thought of. Like that, it makes sense in theory, like what you're saying, but I've never tested it in practice. And now I'm a bit upset by this. Thank you, Jacob, for ruining my day.
You're welcome. I love ruining your day. It's my job.
But
it gives me immense pleasure.
I appreciate that Bambu is doing another Pro machine, right? Where it can be on Ethernet if you want it, because there is an Ethernet on the H2D. The Pro has it. Once again, they're charging you a exorbitant fee to keep it off a network, basically. So, but I also know those machines are going to sell like hotcakes to industry because that's what industry wants. Now, we are seeing some changes right now. So, you know, recently the change was implemented where government agencies cannot buy Chinese-made products, period, right? That includes 3D printers. So I'll be curious to see if Bambu can find a way around this, because otherwise you're limited to like a handful of companies that can, you know, Construct 3D, Prusa, Lulzbot, is Maker Gear still in business? Zax. It goes to like your boutique printer builders and Prusa, right? If you get rid of China, it is nothing but your boutique printer builders and Prusa. That's it. What the? Oh. The Church of Scientology is calling me.
Oh. I'm tempted to say just pick it up.
No, they're calling the business. So we'll call them back. Yeah, that's an odd one. Church of Scientology Flag Service Organization is calling the company. Weird. Okay. I don't know if you know this, but their headquarters is like 45 minutes away from me down in Clearwater, Florida. I don't know if you knew that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did not know that.